In this set of videos, you're going to hear from your colleagues about safety events that occurred at work. It's really important that we get comfortable talking about these events with each other so we can make Rush safer for our patients and ourselves.
We always want to think about ways that we can do our work better, and honest discussions help us to think of ways to do that.
And it's critical that we talk about these things as well as report our mistakes and near misses.
This story is about a patient who received the wrong medication. As you're watching, think about how human factors played a role and how a similar situation could happen in your work environment.
Rush is a busy place. Sometimes our jobs are hectic, and when we're in a time crunch, it's tempting to do things too quickly. Rushing through a process, taking shortcuts, using workarounds, or multitasking can lead to mistakes. Mistakes that impact our patients and us. Speaking up about an error is not just the right thing to do, it is something we can all learn from, as our colleagues explain.
Nursing's 24-hour care, but we do try to tie up all of our loose ends before we sign off to the oncoming nurse because they've got their own assignment to do. So I was trying to catch up on some meds. I came out finding orders for 2 patients that needed insulin. I wouldn't normally pull 2 patients' meds at the same time, but I was just trying to save time.
As I was coming on, Barbara was having a very difficult time finishing up her shift. Several different things were kind of going wrong.
So, Ben, it's been just a really rough last hour.
I understand.
An admission that was
Yeah.
just a wreck.
I
She
get
was
it.
kind of a
I
mess.
get it.
So.
I get it. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to hand off a couple things to you. So, a gentleman in, the Hispanic gentleman down the hall, he is here, he's diabetic. He's here for an infectious workup. I did just give him some insulin, and he ate his dinner, so we're cool there. I put his pen away.
Got to the second patient that she was giving me. So this is a younger lady with this, that, and the other, diabetes.
The other patient, in 27, she is also diabetic. She's here with some wounds. She did not eat her dinner. Her blood sugar was relatively close to where I was not really comfortable giving her insulin, not knowing that she was going to eat. She did order a new tray. So if you could give her insulin when when she eats.
She finally ate. She was finally, able to take her insulin. So gave her the insulin along with the rest of her medicines. Checked the dose, checked the kind of insulin, all that, but didn't check whose it was. I went back out, and at that point, I was putting the pen away in the Pyxis machine. I pulled out the drawer for the patient that I had just given insulin to, threw the pen in, pushed it back, closed the door, and realized after I closed the door, there was already an insulin pen in there. Why would there already be an insulin pen in there if this is her insulin pen?
What went wrong?
So in this particular case, just a lot of things added up. I did not finish all of the tasks that I ordinarily would have done, and it was more or less a perfect storm. I handed off the wrong pen to the next nurse.
Then the medication was administered without verifying the right patient. And there was a risk of transmitting an infectious disease.
My head was buzzing. I was just like, oh no. My first instinct was, I'll just put this back and no one will know. And then I kind of caught myself going, you know what? If it feels wrong, it is wrong. It just doesn't quite sit right with me. So went over, talked to my charge nurse, said, I made this mistake. The patient was actually extremely understanding. They were extended the option of prophylactic treatment just in case.
My reaction was, oh my God, how did that happen? We deal with life and death day to day. We don't necessarily know how much we deal with that because we take it for granted. And when something like this happens, it's right there in your face. It's like, wow, this is what I just did.
So the proper procedure would be to make sure that you have the right patient, the right medicine, the right administration time, the right dosage, and the right route. I didn't check to make sure that the specific medication in my hand was meant for the specific patient in the room that I was going to. It was the right medicine, it was the right dose, it was everything like that, but it wasn't for that patient.
In this case, what went wrong has reinforced how to do things correctly.
I've done a lot differently in my practice afterwards. Anytime we have patient-specific medication that's multi-dose, such as the insulins and MDIs for asthma or COPD, I definitely double-check all my patients' specific medications.
I'm always looking at my Epic screen, seeing the name, seeing the birth date, making sure that it's the same patient that we're talking about here before I give them the insulin or give them the inhaler or whatever it is.
Despite being incredibly busy, we have to take those extra couple minutes every time we do any kind of medication procedure or anything.
My advice would definitely be protect your patients first. That's the reason you're here, is for their safety and for their health.
Following our policies and procedures matters. We all play a role in safe care for every patient, with every employee, every time.
Good morning, Mr. Andrews. How are you today?
Shift change is an important time for sharing critical information about patient care to ensure our patient's safety. These nurses did the right thing at the right time, speaking up to ensure the safety of their patient.
These processes have been put in place to promote the safety of our patients, families, visitors, and staff.
Please take the time to talk about this story with your team, and we encourage you to talk to your supervisor about ideas you have to improve the care we deliver here at Rush.
Thank you for making Rush safer for our patients.